Today I would like you to focus on breathing. So what we are talking yesterday is mind experiences, but mind cannot really recognize between past, present and future. That is awareness which distinguishes that, which recognizes that. And for awareness we have to give a reference point by which it knows, oh, this reference point is the present moment. So by which it can distinguish, oh, mind has dipped into the past or dipped into the future. It will distinguish. So yesterday was body. The body is always operating in the present moment. So keeping body as the reference point, the awareness can recognize, well, now I am not aware of the body. Okay, then where was I? Okay. Then you can know, okay, well, what's the main issue here? Is it past? Is it future? Or is it just, you yesterday learned about karmashaya. Karmashaya based vrittis. Vrittis rising from karmashaya. Just compulsive, neurotic thinking. That just happens and happens and happens and happens. So you can just distinguish what is happening. Why I am not able to stay. So it's not a judgment. I mean, the reference point, the technique is given not to be on the technique alone, but to notice what are the operating forces in our consciousness. Okay. So reference point is for buddhi or awareness. Now, the mind likes to operate in the past, in the future, or just simply likes to just let the karmashaya operate. So the mind also needs something to be in the present. The mind has the capacity to be present-minded. It has a capacity to be past-minded, future-minded. Past-minded, future-minded, it is full-blown capacity. Its capacity to be present-minded, not really full-blown. So we have to give an anchoring point for the mind. Something which is in the present. So yesterday was body, today is breath. So just know that for the mind, the technique is an anchoring technique. Okay? It's an anchoring, not A-N-G-E-R, A-N-C-H-O-R-I-N-G. For awareness, it is a reference point. Okay? With reference to that, it knows what forces are operating. Is that okay? Yeah. Now, basically, you're trying to see, you're making awareness. First of all, you're trying to keep awareness from not getting caught up in the mind or body, not getting it to get identified with body and mind. And then you just simply wanted to know what the body is doing, know what the mind is doing, or know what the mind is experiencing. Okay? Without awareness thinking that that is the experiencer. Awareness should not think awareness is the experiencer. Awareness is not identifying with mind or body. It is simply noticing what the mind is experiencing. Okay? That's what we are trying to do. Now, you also have to see how the mind not only experiences, mind also reacts to what it is experiencing. Reaction is coming from where? Karmashaya. Okay? So some perception occurs in the mind, and then 100 reactions, 100 thoughts just greeted. Okay? Whatever comes up is greeted by this karmashaya, which also stands for conditioned knowledge. So you have to watch how the mind relates to what it is experiencing. You have to really observe that. How is the mind responding to what it is experiencing? That's also part of the experience. Initially everything will look as one. So awareness, as it really keeps on observing, you find that this was the trigger and this is mind's own making, and that is coming from karmashaya. So another person can do something, that is one incident, but majority of that experience is by mind's own reaction, coming from its own karmashaya. So you have to see this happening. And when you see this happening, there is a tendency to be judgmental. And that is where you have to exercise that capacity to be minimally reactive. Judgment is reaction. judgment is dukkha. So we do not want dukkha. We do not want to cultivate that dukkha. So you do not judge, you just know this is the way the mind is in this moment. Just knowing, plain and simple. This is the way the body is in this moment, this is the way the environment is in this moment, that's all. Often, many of us are caught in this conditioned idea that meditation implies a state of no thinking. Okay? Thinking is seen like an enemy of a good meditation. Good meditation means no thinking. Bad meditation means lot of thoughts. That is a conditioned wrong knowledge, wrong view. It is not about stillness or restlessness. It is about knowing what the mind is experiencing. So if thoughts are there, you just know that. That's all. And meditation is not so, we are not separating it as a cross-like meditation, as a real meditation. It's a continuous practice. And why are we doing this? We are not doing meditation or these practices to get that 40 minutes of silence, bliss, seclusion. No, that is good to feel, but that is not the purpose. The purpose of all the angas of yoga, or anything that we do in yoga, is to understand the true nature of body, understand the nature of mind. It is towards these that we practice. And it is the nature of the mind to think, to plan, to like, to dislike, to react. All these things is in the nature of the mind. We do not want to experience a mind which doesn't do anything. That's not a mind. We want to let it happen. We just see this. We recognize this. We want to know the mind as it is. Only thing is, we can view it from the standpoint of whether this is skillful or not. That's all. You just watch it with that wisdom. So you're watching thoughts, and you can do this in your sitting practice too. You sit down and thoughts are happening. You're not able to stay on the breath. Fine. That is what is happening right now. You recognize thoughts. You recognize restlessness. That is in the nature of mind. Nothing special. Some people will commit. They will say that or confess that it's a restless mind. But it happens to me too. The mind is just restless. And if we judge our meditation on that, that is dukkha. This is a disappointing session for you. The mind was just restless. I came all the way here, sitting in front of Shankaracharya's room, and the mind is just simply thinking of the past, and I couldn't help it. That is dukkha. Okay? That relating to that experience. So that is where you have to practice. That just simply acknowledging. That is the way it is, recognizing. Only thing we do is don't get identified. You get identified when you start to judge yourself. Okay, I am a bad meditator. Sitting is not for me. That kind of thing, then it's very difficult to improve. But if there is an acceptance and acknowledgement and recognition, meditation is going great. Mind can be running everywhere. It can be plotting the most funniest of things. But it's a wonderful meditation. As long as you were knowing it. Okay? So that is the main thing. Don't try to make anything unnatural happen. It's unnatural for the mind to suddenly drop thoughts. Just sit. Just closing eyes doesn't mean you're going to do something special here. You're just observing, that's all. Okay? So just keep that very clear in mind. And throughout the day, it's good to ask yourself, what is being experienced? Okay. Just ask yourself, what is being known? To the question, what? It is buddhi which responds. It is awareness which responds. Because what is about recognizing, distinguishing. Buddhi will respond. But if you ask, why? Mind will just explode into action. Okay? You say, why my mind is restless? Okay, you ask like that. Mind will throw 100 stories, justifying it, reacting to it, all kinds of things. Okay? Never ask why. Why is an invitation for a story. Okay? What is an objective looking at what is happening, and that buddhi will tell. Okay? What is restlessness? Great question. What is restlessness? It can be a meditation. Why restlessness? Stories. Do you understand? Yeah? When you're sitting, if restlessness catches you, why restlessness? Stories will come. It's a new place, I didn't eat, maybe it's the rice, maybe it's the beans, all kinds of things. What is restlessness? That you start to recognize, you start to look, and that is meditation. Same with everything. Why sleepy? Oh, because you slept late and done this and that and this, the program is so tough. And what is sleepiness? What is sleepiness? Is meditation. Okay? You really are trying to recognize how you are experiencing sleepiness. What is it? It's not just a word, sleepiness. So just keep that in mind throughout the day. Okay? You feel a little bit, the popular word is mood out, or just somebody else's blues. Okay. All that. Don't ask why. Okay? What is this? What is this? Okay, that's all. Then you will try to experience it. What is this? The body. In the body, what is it? Okay, in the breath, what is it? So this is all the way to invite buddhi to work. So it's all fine to say that we are trying to develop ability to pay continuous, minimally reactive attention to the immediately unfolding experience. That's fine to say. But how do we get this awareness to start looking? You have to ask the right questions. All the time, why? Mind. Story. What? What becomes a mantra? Okay? So today you do that. And breath is the anchoring point for mind today. Breath becomes a reference point for buddhi today. Okay? And never a yardstick or a measuring point for judgment. If you're not able to stay on the breath, that's okay. It's just a capacity you're trying to just see where it is going. Like that.
Okay. When you say anchoring point, means something you come back to. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. What I mean is like the anchor in the waters. A small raft, it has to stay in the water, so they drop the anchor down, and then even if the boat sways around, it won't really go away. It won't drift into the ocean. That kind of thing. So the mind is anchored, you drop, like that, the breath. So even if the mind starts to move around, every now and then that intention, hopefully it will remember. So it won't go away so far into wilderness. So it will again come back. So that's it.